Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're watching or listening from. My name's Adriana from EnglishTeacherAdriana.com, and today I want to teach you how to learn English with movies. So I know that a lot of you, well, I know I love watching movies. I'm sure that a lot of you watch a lot of TV, that you're watching movies, TV shows. And in this lesson, I want to talk about how you can improve your level of English by watching movies in English, of course. Okay, to begin with this lesson, I have asked you a question in the live chat about what is your favorite movie and why in English, okay? So share with us. I can see lots of great movies coming through. Titanic, uh, Training Day, interesting, okay, with Denzel Washington. Uh, Silence of the Lambs. Okay, that's a little bit scary. Anyway, keep your questions coming through, movies coming through, and we will go through these. In this lesson, I have divided this up into 3 topics. So we'll go through a few sections. First of all, why you should be learning English with movies, go through some tips to help you learn English with movies, and just a quick an exercise you can do at home. You can start doing this today. Incorporate this as part of your study routine, just to simply learn real English and also to watch movies, have fun, and improve your level of English. This question has been asked a lot on my Instagram profile. I know a lot of you are watching YouTube videos, you're watching movies, you're watching TV shows. Some of you are watching them, but you're really frustrated because you can't understand English speakers. Sometimes they're speaking too fast. This lesson will help you to better understand natural conversations. Now, in the description below this video, you will find also all the links that I mentioned throughout this video. Make sure to check them out. And if you do have any questions you'd like me to answer in the future, please do join the discussion on my Instagram stories, which I am posting once a week. My handle is English with Adriana. You'll find me there. Okay, so let's begin. First of all, the first topic, why you should be learning English with movies. Look, movies show you a lot about culture, about how people interact, about communication. You can really learn a lot through movies if you like watching movies, that is. Also, I know that I watch a lot of movies to relax, just simply have a laugh. It depends. There's heaps of movies out there. There's a lot of great movies for you to be watching. Basically, when you're watching movies, you see English being used in the real world. So you're not learning textbook English. So when you're in a language school, you may be presented with grammar rules. You may be presented with pronunciation rules. But as you already know, a lot of English speakers don't use grammar correctly. We use a lot of slang. We use a lot of connected speech. It doesn't mean that it's wrong or right. It's just the way that we communicate and we speak in the English language. So this frustration that you may be having at the moment, that you're unable to understand a native English speakers or English speakers who speak English as a second language but a high level, you're struggling to understand them, is probably because you've been learning textbook English and you haven't been immersing and surrounding yourself with real English. Watching movies, learning English with TV shows, movies is a great way for you to just expose yourself to real English, surround yourself, and it's a great way to be just simply immersing yourself more in the English language. Now, also, you may notice that English speakers, they know a lot of words, right? And you want to be able to use a wide range of vocabulary when you are also speaking in English. By watching TV shows and movies in English, you are actually hearing words being used, vocabulary. This is a great way for you to see and learn English words in context. So I have talked a lot about this on my YouTube channel, the importance of learning English words in context, and also be using various English words in different contexts when you're speaking in English in the future. By simply watching TV shows, you'll hear new words, new expressions, new phrases, slang, idioms in context, and your ability to understand and use them in the future will increase. You will also learn how people express themselves. So various people express themselves differently. So my word choice might be different to your word choice. If you're watching or listening to this, it's probably different to other English speakers. Everybody uses different words to express themselves, different grammatical structures. And this will, by watching movies, you'll also see how different people express themselves, what words they use, what grammar they use to express their ideas, their thoughts, and how they communicate in English. So, learning English in movies, it's great for you to be exposing and surrounding yourself with the English language a lot more. But there are some things that a lot of people, a lot of students actually don't do. So you may be watching movies and you're using subtitles. You may be watching a TV show or a movie that's synchronized in your language. This actually isn't good for you to develop and improve your listening skills, to learn your vocabulary, to learn real English. So I have some tips to help you learn English with movies. The first and most important tip is that you should be choosing an interesting movie. So, in a movie that you love, a topic, a movie that you want to watch. So, for example, there was one movie recommendation that came through, The Silence of the Lambs. So, as far as I know, this is a horror and it's really a thriller. It's a scary movie. I don't like scary movies. If you told me to watch this in English or in Croatian, my second language, I wouldn't want to watch it, okay? It's not something that I'm interested in, but it doesn't mean that you're not interested in it. It's important to be choosing a movie that you want to watch, that you like. So, I know a lot of you also may be learning English for specialized purposes, say, for example, for your job, for your profession, maybe to communicate on certain topics with other speakers. Think about why it is you're learning English and what vocabulary you need to improve. For example, if you're a lawyer, for example, and you need to improve your legal English, try to choose topics where you'll see a lot of lawyers, a lot of courtroom activity. Try to choose movies which have a plot based on these topics. Now, if you're a doctor, so you're in the medical field, maybe you're a nurse, you're a doctor, you're a surgeon, whatever you are, you can choose movies based on medicine, on operations, in hospitals. This is a great way for you to improve your vocabulary in that field. Of course, don't be watching a movie just based on the vocabulary you will learn, but if you do really struggle to remember words based on your profession, it is always great to be choosing movies to watch based on your field of expertise. Now, also, it's important to be not using a dictionary, okay? Now, when you're watching a movie, it should be fun. You should be having fun doing this. And I don't recommend that you use a dictionary and sit there with a dictionary next to you to look up all the words that you hear. The whole point of watching movies is for you to be immersing yourself more in the English language. If you are watching this video, if you're listening to this lesson at the moment, you probably can understand 80 to 90% of what I'm saying. So you are ready to actually watch movies. And if you don't understand a word, instead of focusing on, okay, I've got to translate this word, I've got to look it up in the dictionary, start to ask yourself questions. So ask yourself questions about what word is that word that you identified as a new word, what context is it being used in? Is it being used with a positive connotation, with a negative connotation? Ask yourself questions about the context and about the situation that you find that word in. Why is this a lot better than just simply translating or looking it up in a dictionary? It's not going to be fun for you to watch a movie and to just simply be looking up every second word. Instead of looking up the words, press pause, think a little bit about what happened in the scene before, think about what's happening now, and why you think they use that word, what's happening. By asking yourself these questions, instead of just looking up these words, you're training your brain to think a little bit more. You're training your brain to identify, okay, the context of that word. If you really then have to, only then use a monolingual dictionary to look it up. But even then, if it is an important word, you'll hear it used repetitively throughout the video, and then you can look it up, okay, if you really want to. But I'm sure that if you do question yourself, if you do ask the context it's being used in, you will be able to understand what the word means. All right. Now, also by you asking yourself questions and not using a dictionary, you are actually training your brain to process that new word a lot better. And the chances of you remembering that word in the future are a lot higher because you're already questioning, okay, so for example, the word was flowery. Okay, that's not a good word. Let's say the word was bubbly. She was a bubbly person. So if a character described another person as bubbly, she's a bubbly person. Think about, okay, what did that person do in the previous scene? So was she happy or was she sad? Most likely she was very happy, because somebody that is bubbly, they are very happy all the time. They're very open. They just have a very bright and expressive personality. By you analyzing that person before, how they acted, you'll also create an association, a visual association in your brain that, okay, so that character acted like this, she was bubbly. So then in the future, I can use bubbly to describe my friends or describe my colleagues or describe somebody new. Okay? So this is also a great way to be questioning yourself. Another tip that I have for you to be learning English with movies is all the new phrases that you do learn, repeat them. Okay, if you hear that the actors are using them over and over again, maybe it's a phrase that you should know. Try to shadow. Now, shadowing is something I've talked a lot about my channel. It's basically when you listen to English speakers saying something and you repeat out loud exactly what it is they're saying. So you're copying them like a child. When you're doing this will help you remember those phrases, but also remember the pronunciation and, most importantly, the intonation. So I know a lot of you maybe are learning English, but you're not speaking that much. And then when you do have to speak, you're a little bit worried about your pronunciation, your accent, how you sound. By simply shadowing and repeating those phrases, it's something that children do. It's probably, most likely, it's how you learn your language. It's how I learned my first language. You know, when your parents are like, ma, or mum, or dad, or give me that, you repeat over and over again to a child. The child repeats back at you. This is the same that you're doing. It's a great way it's actually a really fast way to learn new phrases, new expressions, and most importantly, to be using that new knowledge. Okay. So also, I do recommend not using subtitles. I have talked about this over and over again. Subtitles are great to be using if you want to improve your reading skills, but to be improving your listening skills, I don't recommend that you use subtitles. They're actually stopping you from improving your listening skills. They're stopping you from really enjoying that video, because you have to do a lot more brain activity in the long term, okay? But I know in the short term it will be harder for you to follow English conversations, to follow actors and everything without subtitles. But in the long term, you'll see that you'll enjoy watching movies in English a lot more. Now, I do understand that it's easier said than done just to stop using subtitles. And this is why I want to go through exactly now how you can progress to stop using subtitles, because I know a lot of you really want to stop using subtitles, but you don't know how to progress and what small things you can start doing now to just stop using them, okay? This is what we're going through now. Now, with subtitles, look, it's okay if you're watching this and you can understand me and your life here and you can understand and follow. There is no reason for you to be using subtitles, because throughout this live stream, there are no subtitles at the moment. There are subtitles if you're watching the replay. But basically, you are at a level to stop using subtitles. So how can you progress? So learn English, improve your English without subtitles while watching a movie. So I want you to choose a movie, get it out, and if you are using subtitles at the moment, watch 2 to 3 minutes of that movie without subtitles, okay? So watch it without subtitles and just see what's happening. Okay, pay attention to how people are holding themselves, pay attention to the words they're using, pay attention to the intonation, to the pronunciation, really actively listen, and also pay attention to their body language. So how are they holding themselves? How are they not holding themselves? Now, once you've watched 2 to 3 minutes of this, what I want you to do is rewind. Rewind that scene and then watch it with subtitles. If you really struggle to understand what happened in those 2 to 3 minutes, watch it again, but this time use subtitles. When you are using subtitles, again, only use English subtitles. Don't be using, if you're an Arabic speaker, don't be using Arabic subtitles. If you're from Vietnam, Vietnamese, if you're from Brazil, Portuguese subtitles, only be using English subtitles, to really listen to the conversation and then follow exactly what they're saying on the screen. Watch it again. If you still don't understand what's happening, watch it one more time. Now, while you are watching it a few times with subtitles, you may see that there's new phrases. There may be new expressions, new words that you may come across. Instead of looking up these words, remember in the tips that I shared before, ask yourself questions. So, why are they using this word? What do they want to say? What's happening in the scene? Ask yourself questions, what's happening in the scene, so that you can get a better idea of the context that word is being used. If you still cannot understand the exact scene, and it's a really important word for you to be able to understand exactly what's going on, only then get a dictionary and look it up. Get a monolingual dictionary, don't get a bilingual dictionary. So get an English dictionary with English definitions, because this will also help just stay in the English mindset and not translating. Okay, now, after you've gone through this, you understand everything, a great way for you to be using what you've learned, because I'm sure while you've watched that video, that segment or that part of the TV show or movie, watch it again with subtitles, but then shadow. So shadowing, I did talk about this before, is when you repeat out loud what they're saying. Watch the movie again, watch it with subtitles, and repeat out loud everything that the actors are saying. Now, why should you be repeating this out loud? It's a great way for you to get that speaking practice. It's a great way for you to be using the new words that you learned. Also, it's a great way to be focusing on connected speech. In movies, in TV shows, people don't speak slow. They speak very, very fast. And by you shadowing natural English, so you will be learning English naturally as well. You will hear connected speech. You will hear intonation, the tones they're using. Make sure to be following also how the voice is going up, how the voice is going down, and copy them exactly how they are speaking. Now, this can also be a little bit hard to do if you, I do recommend that you begin with subtitles and then progress without subtitles. Again, this should only be about 2 to 3 minutes of the scene. You don't have to worry, do the whole movie. A movie can last anywhere between, 45 minutes to an hour and a half. Some even go for 3 hours. I saw a recommendation was Titanic. Don't be doing it with a 3-hour movie such as Titanic. Only choose one scene in the movie and focus about 10 minutes of your day doing this on a scene that lasts about 2 to 3 minutes. Now, you can also take this a level up by shadowing without subtitles. So once you've gone through, you've shadowed with subtitles, you can turn the subtitles off and shadow without subtitles. Now, why shadow without subtitles? This is a great way to really train your ear to see that you fully understood everything. You are able to use connected speech, just as the actors have done, and you're able to follow to process that information very, very fast. Now, this is something I would like to highlight, that this is something you should be doing about every second day, every third day. You shouldn't be dedicating hours and hours of this. Just choose a scene that you like, an interesting scene, and only choose about 2 to 3 minutes of that scene. Sid, you do this as well. Fantastic. I'm glad that you're doing this. Now, one other thing that you could do is you want feedback. So I know a lot of you would like feedback basically if you sound okay, if your intonation is okay, if your word choice is okay, if you're sounding like the actors, if you sound like a native. Now, a great way for you to get feedback, and actually to give yourself feedback, is to be recording your voice. So I have mentioned before, I'm sure you all have a mobile device. Record your voice, shadow after the actors, and then once you finish shadowing, compare. Listen to yourself and listen to the actors and see, okay, were you able to use pronunciation okay? Were you able to speak clearly? Are you able to understand everything that you said? Give yourself feedback, and this is a great way to also track your progress. Small daily steps to achieve English fluency is really the way to go. This exercise is about 10 minutes long. It shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes. If it takes you more than 10 minutes, you really have to try to reduce your time, the time that you're spending on this exercise. Doing this every single day or every second day is really fantastic for your listening and for your speaking skills. And by giving yourself feedback and by actually storing it somewhere on your mobile phone, on your computer, in the long term, you will see the progress that you're making, and you'll be more satisfied and motivated to continue learning with movies. Now, it is really important to be choosing a movie that you like. If you choose a movie that you don't like, it won't be fun and you won't want to do this. Also, it is important to just be realistic. Some days you're not going to want to do this, some days you will. Try to be as consistent as you can. If you can do it every second day, that's fantastic. If you can do it every day, that's also great. Don't be too hard on yourself. Aim for every second or third day. And the point is to be consistent. If you do it once a month, it's not going to work. But if you do it consistently for the next 2 to 3 months, you will see that your ability to progress from using subtitles to not using subtitles will happen a lot faster. And also your ability to understand movies and TV shows in English will really improve. Okay, that would be all for today. I hope this video lesson was useful. If you do have any questions for future videos, make sure to answer the poll on my Instagram. I will be posting one today. You will find the link to my Instagram in the description below this video. Thank you everybody for joining this live stream. It's lovely to see you here. If you found this video lesson useful, make sure to support my channel by hitting that like button. If you would like to receive notifications on my next live stream, remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on notifications so that you get notified when I go live. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to join the live chat. I will be in the comments below this video, continuing our chat from our live chat. If you have any questions, please do get in touch in the comments below. And thank you, and wishing you all a lovely Monday. Bye for now.